So, with presidential candidate debates coming up, we're going to see more discussions about whether or not Democrats support abortion up until birth. Here's the thing, it is true that there are multiple places in the country where there are no gestational limits on abortion. It's legal at any stage in pregnancy for any reason. It's legal in the 7th, 8th, or 9th month, and you don't have to have a medical emergency. It's also true that the Democratic Party platform doesn't support any gestational limits on abortion, and you'll be hard pressed to find a Democratic candidate who is going to say they support something like, for example, a 24-week federal limit. It's also true that people obtain abortions later in pregnancy, even including after viability, sometimes without any medical emergency present. That's also true. What's not clear to me is if all of that adds up to someone supporting abortion up until birth, because that sounds like someone being indifferent to or even supportive of people getting abortions for any reason right before they're about to give birth. And I don't think that there are a lot of people like that out there. I think it's more likely that people refuse to support gestational limits, not because they don't care if someone gets a 9-month elective abortion, but because they're worried. On the more idealistic version, they're worried that if they support gestational limits, then certain medical emergencies will get overlooked and they won't get the proper exceptions for them. Or in the more cynical version, they're worried that they'll be labeled anti-choice and they can't handle that politically. Whether it's the idealistic version or the cynical one, I don't think any of those is quite the same as someone like in their hearts supporting the idea of an 8th or 9th month elective abortion. So whether someone supports abortion up until birth, it really depends on how you're interpreting that phrase. If you think technically it shouldn't be illegal, but you also think it never happens, or you think technically it shouldn't be illegal, but you also think it would be morally abhorrent, does that mean you support it? I'm not purporting to answer the question. I just think that's the question before us.